welcome to Tonic Studios. Today I'm going to share with you how to make our vintage pop-up sentiment card from our latest kit. So here we go. How do we make it? So this is the card you're going to create. So we've got the lovely little belly band going around it. Then when you open the card, you've got a lovely little pop-up sentiment inside. So, where do we start? If you have a look at my desk here, this is all you're going to need for a plain card. You can add the decoration to this later. So I've used 4 of the main card front, 2 of the inserts, and these cover the mechanism. 2 for the belly band, 1 for the hinge, 2 dies for the pop-up, 2 dies for the moving mechanism, and then you've got your decoration for your sentiment. Okay, so we're going to start with the main card base. So we've got our 4 squares and we're going to glue 2 together for each one. The reason we glue in 2 together is because the inside of your die cut, or the wrong side, always has a rough edge. So to give a nice professional finish, we glue in 2 together. Because we don't always want to see that rough edge. So just pop 2 together, give them a little press, put them to one side. Same with the next one. There we are. Pop them together. And then put them to one side. So my next part now is my hinge. So let me just grab my hinge by here. So if you look at the hinge, you've got 2 little score lines in the centre. You need those 2 score lines to score. So the easiest way I have found is take a ruler, pop it onto the score line, put it down flat because it's a lot easier to do when it's flat, and then just bring the die cut around the ruler. And what you'll find then, that's done your first line, and then you can do exactly the same with your second line. And then you've got a nice little area in the centre that is going to wrap around your die cuts. Now this one can slide a little bit, so you need to hold this one a little bit firmer. There we go. Bring it around. So if you look at the centre then, I've got a little ridge right in the middle of my die cut. So we're going to pop these now onto our card base. So a little bit of glue on the inside. And then we'll pop one down. Doesn't matter which way you glue these because your base card is the same back and front because you've got the lovely finish both sides. So that one is done. A little bit more glue on the other side. There we go. And then pop the other one so they're all lined up. And that is your card base. That could be how you want to make your card. You may not want to add anything more to that other than perhaps a belly band. But we are going to add a little bit more. So we're going to move on now to the mechanism for the inside. So you're going to cut 2 of this die, and into one of them you're going to add the 2 slits. So we're just going to do the folds. So you're going to fold them diagonally into the centre. So you have almost like a little C shape. And then do the same with the other. And again, you're going to glue these together. So I'm just going to fold the tabs. There we go. So start at one end pop a little bit of glue onto your tab and place your first one together. Now they are a little bit of a strange angle and they can be a little bit fiddly, but just take your time and you'll be there. So pop those down flat. I'm going to give it a little bit of a second to glue and then we'll move on. So they are stuck. Well, they would be if I gave them a little bit longer. Right, take your time here now. Give it a little pinch. Then we're going to look at the middle. Open them up. So you've got two tabs in the middle and they glue opposite each other, but they glue onto the back of your die cut. So a little bit of glue on each, only a tiny bit you're going to need. And make sure they go towards the back. So that's those two. Make sure they're all lined up and try and get your chevrons lined up as well. So I'm just going to hold that, wipe away my excess glue. And then we're going to move on to the other side. So again, we're going to pop the two panels together. So another little bit of glue. And that is part one of your mechanism done. So there we are. It does look a little bit strange, but it'll all come together. Okay. Give these a little fold again. Make sure they're all folding in the right direction. Pop those two together. And make sure they're all folding. There we go. You have got instructions for this, by the way, so don't be worried there. So once you've glued all your mechanism, you need to fold it. So you fold, the fold in the middle comes up, so you've got a mountain fold. The other two are valley folds, and it folds together like a little C. That then is going to stick into your card. So we'll pop that to one side. Then we're going to put our inserts into the card. This mechanism is going to sit inside, inside the two slits there. And that's where it's going to sit inside your card. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop a little bit of glue just on the bottom. This could be tape as well. If you're a tape fan, then pop your tape on. Just make sure that you've got a nice even border all the way around the insert. Do the same on the other side. A little bit of glue. There we go. And then we want this then to sit. So we're going to pop it inside. No, not like that. The other way. So the centre is underneath. If you can see there, my two lines are sat just inside the mechanism, and that's where it needs to sit. So we're going to pop a little bit of glue all the way around. Don't put any glue on this mechanism. These inserts will hold it in place itself. So, a little bit of glue around the edges. So where I've glued, let me just show you here. I'm just gluing right the way around the edges. Mechanism in place. There we go. And then press down. So that side is all secured. We're going to do exactly the same with the other side. So a little bit of glue all around. Again, this could be tape. If tape is your preference, then you add your bit of tape. So I've just placed some glue around the edges and then slot your mechanism in. But I'm not actually placing any glue on the mechanism. And that mechanism then needs to sit in the centre of your card. So there is your book and your card all shut in. When you open it then, they're there ready to go. So the next bit. I've got two of the insert mechanisms. The reason I've got two, it gives it a little bit more sturdiness. So I've glued the two together only because it's a mechanism that's going to be moving. So if your card is flimsy, then there's a possibility it could bow and nobody wants a bowing part in their card. So that's that. And this will just sit into the little slits that you've made. And then you add your sentiment onto that. Oops, I pulled that one out. There we are. So we're ready to go there. We've got our little oval and you can cut your sentiment into the smaller oval. That will sit onto this internal mechanism. So you can either pop it with the decoration to the bottom or to the top. But it needs to be, to move it, you need it to be quite central. So we'll have a little look here where we're going to pop it. So I'm going to go for that there. And that's the middle of your card. Then your next bit is your belly band. So you're going to cut two of these. You can pop your sentiment into the band. You've got two little deboss lines to fold. They are not as close together as the hinge, so they're a little bit easier. Give them a fold and then you're going to glue these two together. There we go. Hold them for a sec. Then we'll have the other side. So pop those together. If you press them down on the counter, it makes it much easier to adhere. So there's our mechanism. We're going to shut that up. Pop our band on the top. And you're ready to decorate your card and add your sentiments. Hope you've enjoyed this make. Join us for some more. Thank you. Bye.